Alright, so here we are with the next slight amendment to the second and third fire signs. We've moved the second fire sign from the 6th of Tebeth to the 10th of Tebeth. So we moved it from Monday, Tuesday, which has just gone, to Friday, Saturday, with Sabbath coming. That's all we're doing. So what that means is that our 5 proofs remain in place. It's just that the fire signs are closer together than we thought. The second fire sign is now 3 weekly Sabbaths after the Super Pentecost. And those 3 weekly Sabbaths are the sentence count of a cloud like a man's palm ascending from the sea. If the cloud is above the sea, that counts as 2, cloud above sea. And it's like a man's palm that compared with, so you've got 2 things like a third thing, that's 3. That counts as 3. And the attendant said this in 1 Kings 18:43 or 44, in the 7th. So it's 3 Sabbaths. So you go back 7 times from the no-show, which was actually 2012, Chislev 24 is the no-show after we went up Mount Carmel, which was our installation over the 2NC part of Zoar in 2012, Chislev 21, the late 2NC Pentecost. The first incorrect fire sign after that was Chislev 24. So you go back 7 times from that, you get 2019, Chislev 24. You then count 3 weekly Sabbaths after that as 26th, Tebeth 3 and Tebeth 10. And that's the second fire sign. Now, the other thing about Tebeth 10, which is now the 6th proof, is that it's the Jubilee release day for the Jericho campaign. There are 2 Jericho campaigns, one Laodicea versus the Watchtower, and the other us versus Laodicea. And Paul says the walls, plural, of Jericho fell down, and a church has one wall, a law. Cities can have several, but a church only has one. So if walls of churches fall down, that's 2 churches. So the law of the Watchtower was seen to be flat, and the law of Laodicea was seen to be from the earth when they fell as a true church, 2019, Chislev 22. The Watchtower fell as a true church 2005, but they didn't release anybody to. So I'm not quite sure what the law of the wall of the Watchtower falling down actually is. I suppose it's preventing the 1NCs from coming to Laodicea. I don't quite know. But certainly in our case against Laodicea, it's then becoming a false church on Chislev 22, which is our Super Pentecost day. Chislev 22 is the late 2NC Pentecost, the 2NC Pentecost running from this year, from Tishri 3, because Tishri 2 was a weekly Sabbath, Tishri 3 to Heshvan 22, and the late version Chislev 22. So the Jubilee in Jericho terms is the 10th day of the 8th month of the 7th campaign year, which is year to date from Sivan 1 to ER 30. The reason it's that is that we were appointed on ER 16 a 4th equal appointment with Laodicea over the 1NC reserves, 4th equal after FTS 3, Adamic FTS 4, Adamic Laodicea, and then there's us and Laodicea, both appointed on ER 16 2013 after we died and got resurrected non-Adamically in Zoar on 2012, Sivan 14 to 16. And we were appointed to rule, they were appointed to feed. We were appointed to rule and feed. They were appointed only to feed because they fell as regards rulership on 2010 Tishri 24, which was Tablet Shattering Day, at the end of their rulership of the 1NC reserves. Or actually it's of the 1NCs, but only the 1NC reserves were left on the planet. So we needed more authority than them. God doesn't allow you to attack a place until he's given it into your hand. And since we had authority to rule and feed, and they only had authority to feed, at that point we had authority to attack Laodicea and get the people out whom we're supposed to be ruling, which we didn't succeed in doing, but Jesus got them out into the ark, which is all that matters, and they're married in there. Therefore we could start our campaign after ER 16, and the first whole month after that was Sivan 1, and Jericho means moon city. So the campaign days run year to date from Sivan 1 to ER 30. So the first one was 2013 Sivan 1, the 7th one starts 2019 Sivan 1, the 7th month you go around 7 times with Chislev. So we ended our circumnavigations on Chislev 30. Actually, we didn't quite. You go around 7 times, not 8. We got our final prediction on Tebeth 7, That ended our circumnavigations. This present prediction I'm presenting in this video, we got it on Tebeth 7. We published it 23:59 GMT, Tebeth 7. We got it 21:55, Tebeth 7, January the 7th. And it's, as I say, it's for Friday, Saturday for the second fire sign, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the third fire sign, which is Tebeth 10 and Tebeth 10:11. So it's all happening this Sabbath or the day after. The day after is the fourth marriage Pentecost, from fourth 1NC marriage in the Ark, which was on Heshvan 22, and the second fire sign is the seventh Sabbath of that, which is weekly Sabbath, which is Tebeth 10. So the Jericho Jubilee release is 7 Sabbath months, which are the 7 months in the 7th campaign day. It's a manufactured Jubilee. You take each month in the 7th campaign day as a Sabbath month, on the basis that the entire 7th campaign day is a Sabbath. That will be your 7th Sabbath. Then you go to one after that, which is the 8th month, and you go to the 10th day of the month, which is the Jubilee release day, and that's Tebeth 10. And on that day we get released from Jericho by the second fire sign. So there you go. That's a sixth proof that the second fire sign occurs, certainly before Tebeth 11. I mean, it's the proof it occurs on Tebeth 10, but the other 5 proofs only have it occurring before Tebeth 11. And just to recap the other 5 proofs, we've got basically go back 7 times, either from 2012 Chislev 21, when we went up Mount Carmel, to 2019 Chislev 21, which is the entire period of us not having anything right. On Chislev 22 we got the correct prediction extensions to Tebeth 11. Or it's go back from Chislev 24, the no-show in 2012, to 2019 Chislev 24, and then you count your 3 Sabbaths. Or you could say you go back not 7 years but 7 Pentecosts, which will go from Chislev, in this case 7 late 2NC Pentecosts, from 2012 Chislev 21 to 2019 Chislev 22, and then again you go 3 weekly Sabbaths to Tebeth 10. That's one. Then you have Alan's amazing appointment, the 4th Apostle, 2015 Chislev 21, and 4 times after that for a day, a month, an hour, and a year, all 4 of which are times, takes you to 2019 Chislev 21. That's the period of being bound, and on the 22nd we're released by getting something right, something we hadn't done in that whole period of the 4 apostles being bound over the Euphrates. Now nobody knows we got it right yet other than us, even if we know it, and if we indeed have it right. But we will find out this weekend whether or not we do have it right. And then we've got the 70 weeks, which end with the week of the 5th marriage feast from 2019 Chislev 20 to 26, and during that week was the 22nd when we got the correct prediction extensions, and that imprinted a seal on vision and prophet. And on the 20th the Holy of Holies was anointed, which is Jesus being crowned. I mean, his marriage is his coronation, which is his anointing as a king. So he was anointed as Holy of Holies on 2019 Chislev 20 after 69 weeks. And then after 70 weeks, or during the 70th week, we got the seal that we got something right. Then there's the ride of the first horseman of the Apocalypse, Revelation 6:2, on the white horse. Horse became white on Chislev 22, 2019, the late 2NC Pentecost sealing festival. It had to be after Chislev 14, because that's the end of the Tetramenos, after which the 2NC field becomes white, Tetramenos of John 4, from Ab 14, and it had to be before the second fire sign. But also the concubine falls with her hands on the threshold. Threshold, that's where you hold threshed wheat sealed Christians. So the sealing is her fall, and she falls on, as I said, Chislev 22, when Laodicea fell as a true church, which is witnessed to by the 8th day of the festival of 1 Kings 18 of Solomon, where he sent them away. In 2 Chronicles 7 he sent them away to their homes, but in 1 Kings 18 he sent them away, or vice versa. And also the Mene Tekel and Parsin, from when they were installed on Elul 5 to when they were judged on Chislev 15, which was when they lost their constant feature, when their worship was rejected. But that's them being constructively falling, but not actually falling. God always has a judgment, then an execution. There's always a stay of the execution for a period. So Chislev 22 they fell as a true church. So that's when we were sealed, that's when the horse became white. And it's a 19-day sentence count of Revelation 6, 1 and 2, and that takes you from Chislev 22 to Tebeth 11, which is also the result of adding the Ketib sentence count of Elijah's prayer in 1 Kings 18 verses 36 to 37. You add that, which is I think 40 odd, to Chislev 2, and you get to Tebeth 11. And that's when the hearts are turned back. And the reason they're turned back then is both fire signs have occurred. And that's the end of my conquest as regards a chronological conquest and winning the contest of 1 Kings 18 and understanding the scriptures. That's really what my conquest has been and is. And I hope that we get that understanding. I mean, I can't say I hope that World War III breaks out. I don't. I would much prefer it if a big sign appeared in heaven saying Gordon was right, which will occur in the form of a not very nice sign. But it would be better if it was a physical, banner from God or something, in my opinion. But who am I? There are lessons mankind needs to learn. One of them is war is obsolete. Alright, so the second fire sign, Friday, Saturday, January 10-11, Tebeth 10. We think that one's in Manhattan, producing a mushroom cloud above the Hudson. Round about George Washington Bridge is our best guess. That is a guess. We know it's above the Hudson, and we know it's the nearest part of the Hudson to High Point, New Jersey. The highest point in New Jersey, the Garden State, that is Carmel, Garden Land. And then in England it's the highest point in Kent, the Garden of England, which is Idea Hill, and the nearest sea to that is Dartford. So we expect the third fire sign on January 10, 11, 12, which is Tebeth 10, 11, to produce a mushroom cloud above the Thames round about Dartford. And Mike had a dream that there'd be a lorry going across the Dartford Bridge and it would blow up. So I don't know whether that, well, I think that was an inspired dream, so it may well be the case. But we shall see. Alright, thank you very much.